There are 4 main approaches to the proposed site on Dunstan Road. A journey along each of these approaches will clearly demonstrate to you why this is such an unsuitable site for a development of this nature and scale. Approaching from the west, you will come through the small villages of Cutthorpe or Barlow, with their narrow, winding roads, their picturesque views over the open countryside, their well-established rural businesses, and their tourist attractions.
The farming in the vicinity of the site is very varied. A lot of livestock, a lot of arable, quite a few diversified farms. So for example, free-range turkeys, holiday cottages, fishing lakes, that kind of thing. A number of local farmers have raised concerns. They're concerned that the public perception will be that their crops or their livestock may be contaminated.
Approaching the proposed site from this direction also shows the unsuitability of Dunstan Road itself.
We have been here for well over 30 years, and during that time we've seen numerous changes in and around the Dunstan area. We're just so disappointed that we seem to be going back to an industrial development when over the last 10 to 15 years we've been moving in the opposite direction.
Approaching the site from the north takes you past the Chesterfield and Sheepbridge trading estates and the many well-established and prestigious business premises which have brought much needed employment and regeneration.
Fusion's owned by Eric Bridgestock, who founded the company in 1971, and we moved to the site on Chesterfield Trading Estate in 1989. Since then, Eric's invested £10 million in the site, and we believe that although it wasn't formally an anchor site, it has played a major role in the development of Chesterfield Trading Estate as an attractive business location for a wide range of different companies.
Accessing the site from this direction again demonstrates the unsuitability of the roads, in particular where Sheepbridge Lane meets Dunstan Road. Approaching from the east takes you into a residential area and past 2 other schools that are within a mile of the incinerator site. You then pass the extremely modern Dunstan Technology Park and Dunstan Innovation Centre. Millions of pounds have been invested here in recent years, providing prestigious office developments where businesses can flourish in a relatively peaceful and attractive environment.
We now have approximately 400 people on site working for CS2 Lawyers and our associated companies. Many staff have indicated that they're not happy with the development and they may consider moving firms subject to whether the plans go ahead. We are committed to the campaign. We've made substantial financial contributions and we've also committed resource to the campaign purely because we see it as integral to the future of our business and the development plans that we have within the local area.
Our recent survey showed that 9 in 10 would not have located here had a gasification plant existed on Dunstan Road, and 7 in 10 businesses, who together employ over 900 staff, say they will be very or quite likely to move away should this development go ahead. There are also many businesses further along Dunstan Road at the newly built Bridge Business Centre. They will literally be next door to the incinerator site, yet they aren't even referenced in the planning application, despite the fact that the business park was occupied in the summer of 2008 when the planning application was submitted.
I mean, when we were looking for alternative office space, the Bridge sort of leapt straight in there really, because it was the right sort of area on the edge of agricultural land, and there was no planning submissions for the incinerator at the time, no incinerator there. So that never came into the equation when we were considering where we would locate. We certainly wouldn't have located there if the incinerator had been built. On the submissions that I've seen that they've made, the Bridge Business Centre didn't appear at all. At the moment, there are somewhere in the region about 8 or 9 units still to be let or sold, and I think they'll have great difficulty in doing that if that incinerator goes ahead.
The approach from the south takes you through the housing estates of Newbold and Dunston. Down Dunston Lane you pass the nearest school to the site, Dunston Primary School, and then lead out to the open countryside and the sharp bend in this lane which links on to Dunston Road. In fact, Dunston Lane was recently voted the worst sat-nav black spot in the whole country for drivers following their sat-navs and ignoring any restrictions, according to a recent Sky News report. So we ask you to look closely at what you would be destroying by letting this development go ahead. There are alternative approaches that are safer and cleaner. There are better alternative sites available for a waste management solution on this scale, with more suitable road networks and further from residents, well-established businesses and farming communities. Dunston Road is the wrong site.